Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us coming here to learn the language of the noble Quran. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq to learn the language of the noble Quran and then teach others. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us sadqa jariyah for our parents and make our children sadqa jariyah for us. I welcome you, my respected sisters, to today's class. Today, inshallah, we'll be having lesson number 8. I hope everybody is doing well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you all in knowledge. Ameen Ya Rab. So if the audio quality is clear, sisters, if you're able to hear me loud and clear, please give me some feedback in the chat window. To the host, your answers, please write here. And after some feedbacks, inshallah, we'll start the class. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So inshallah, we'll start the class now. So today, inshallah, we'll be doing lesson number 8. This is something we've done in the past, so it'll be, inshallah, relatively going to be very, very easy. Singulars and plurals. What is singular and plural? We all know. Singular is one and plural is more than two. In Arabic, it's more than two. In English, it's more than one. So let's look at from the point of view of English right now. Singular is one and plural means many. So we have seen that ulama has informed us that everything around us has been divided into two categories: rational beings and irrational beings. What comes in the category of rational beings is human beings, angels, and jinns, right? So if you say hadha muslimun, if it's for singular, you'll say hadha muslimun, singular masculine. For the feminine singular, you will say hadihi muslimatun. But if you want to say these, like in English, you say for many, so you'll say haulai muslimuna, these are Muslims, haulai muslimatun, these are Muslim women. This was for rational. What about irrational? So as we know that irrational has got these three types, and other than that, everything is included in irrational category. So for example, if we have irrational, we say hadha kitabun. For one book, this is a book. We use hadha. Why? Because kitab is masculine, right? There's no ta marbuta at the end. It is not a feminine word, so we use hadha, which is used for masculine. It is kind of a same like rational. If you could see rational as well, we say hadha when it is about a single masculine. And coming back to irrational once again, if it's, for example, if it's a car, we say hadihi sayyaratun. Why we are using hadihi? Because the word sayyaratun is muannath. It's feminine. And how do we know that? Because there is a ta marbuta at the end of the word, the close ta, this one here, right? So this is for singular. So singular, rational, irrational, they both behave the same way. For the singular masculine, we use hadha as an ismul ishara, noun of pointing towards, demonstrative pronoun. For feminine, we use hadihi. But things change when it comes to plural. For plural, we will say hadihi kutubun and hadihi sayyaratun. What's happening here is, we have studied last time that when there is a plural of irrational beings, it is treated as if it's a singular feminine, as if it's a singular feminine. So irrational plurals acts like singular feminine. So you will say hadihi sayyaratun, and if it's plural, you will say hadihi, still you will say hadihi sayyaratun. If it's a book, because it's a plural now, so you will not say hadha, you will not say haula, you will say hadihi kutubun. This is just a repetition of what we have done last time, so I hope everybody is firm with that. Now I want you to pay attention. This slide and the next slide, inshallah, after that is something you've already done in level 1. But I just want to recap these things because this is what we're going to touch upon in today's class. And as you know, sisters, from the beginning, we've been saying that information is stacked upon each other. So one thing you learned in level 1, it will be repeated in level 2 with more additions. So gradually, inshallah, you will reach a point where you will have a good command in Arabic language, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on Sheikh Abdul Rahim, late Sheikh Abdul Rahim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive his sins. Ameen. He has done a brilliant, brilliant job. So if you look at the first one, huwa muslimun. Huwa muslimun. What is huwa? Huwa muslimun. What kind of sentence is that, first of all? Huwa Muslimun is a noun sentence. How do we know? Because it's beginning with the pronoun, and pronoun is a type of noun. So any sentence begins with the noun is called a noun sentence. And noun sentence has got two pillars, two components, two compulsory things, without which noun sentence will no more be a noun sentence. What are those two? Who can tell me? What are the two pillars of noun sentence? Mubtada and khabar. Brilliant. Well done. So here, huwa is our mubtada. And where's the khabar? Muslimun is the khabar. Let's look at the next one. Hiya muslimatun. Huwa muslimun means he is Muslim. Hiya muslimatun means she is a Muslim woman, right? So hiya is our mubtada and muslimatun is our khabar. But if you compare both, you will see when your mubtada is masculine, like in the first example, huwa, your khabar is also masculine. Huwa muslimun. And the second example, hiya muslimatun. So hiya is for feminine. So the khabar, because mubtada is feminine, so the khabar is also feminine. Can we say he is a girl and she is a boy? Well, these days a lot of things are happening like that, subhanallah. But let's stick to what it is actually. The fact is, we'll say he is a boy and she is a girl. So huwa Muslimun, hiya Muslimatun, right? So what does it tell us? It tells us that mubtada and khabar must match in gender. Is everybody with me, sister? Look at the third example. An-nafidhatu, the window. The word for window in Arabic is an-nafidhatu. Nafidhatu is our mubtada. It is feminine. So what is the khabar? Mughlaqatun. It's not mughlaqun. If it was al-bab, as we can see in the third example, al-babu mughlaqun. Al-bab is masculine, so mughlaqun is without ta marbuta. Al-bab is masculine. Khabar is masculine. But in this example, the fourth one, an-nafidhatu, this is feminine, hence the khabar is also feminine. If you look at the last one on the bottom of the page, as-sayyaratu sari'atun. As-sayyaratu is what? It's mubtada, but it's feminine. So the khabar sari'atun is also having ta marbuta. Khabar is also feminine. If you look at the sentence before that, which is about the horse, al-hisanu sari'un, because al-hisan, horse, is masculine, so khabar is also masculine, sari'un, without ta marbuta. Whereas in the case of as-sayyaratu, because sayyaratu, which is our mubtada, which is feminine, so the khabar is also feminine. I hope it is clear. It's something we have done so many times before. So the crux of this slide is that mubtada and khabar must match in gender. We are not talking about anything else. Right now, we're just focusing on gender. Mubtada and khabar must match in gender. If mubtada is masculine, khabar will be masculine. If mubtada is feminine, khabar will be feminine. Right. Where else have we seen this matching condition? Can anybody remind me, where else have we seen this must match condition? That if things are not matching with each other, then they don't fit the criteria. Adjectives, naat and manu, this is where we have learned that, right? What is naat? It tells us a word, it tells about something, gives us some more information. It's a word that tells us more about a noun. So look how naat and manut as well must have to match. So if you see, long story, the translation will be qissatun tawilatun. So qissatun, naat has got ta marbuta. So, sorry, the man'ut has got ta marbuta. So the naat tawilatun will also have ta marbuta, right? Qissatun tawilatun, mumkin qissatun qasiratun, short story. So you will add ta marbuta at the end of the khabar, because it's not a khabar, sorry, it's to the naat. Because if man'ut is masculine, your naat will be masculine. If man'ut is feminine, your naat will be feminine. If you look another example, the third one, Madinatun, so it's man'ut. Your man'ut has got ta marbuta, it means it is feminine. So your naat must be feminine as well. Madinatun jamilatun. If it was bayt, we will say baytun jamilun. So we'll not say jamilatun. Why? Because bayt is masculine. So if you look at the second example, baytun kabirun, big house. We are not saying kabiratun, because bayt itself, man'ut, is masculine. So the naat must have to match the masculine. So we can't say baytun kabiratun. We must say baytun kabirun. If we are using kabiratun, then there must be a word man'ut which must be feminine, right? So if you want to say kabiratun, maybe you could say sayaratun kabiratun, big car. But I hope you are getting what I'm saying, that naat and man'ut must match in gender as well. Right, so the new lesson now. So please, if we can open our textbook, chapter number 17, page number 96. In the book I have, maybe the print you have could have a different page number. So if you look at this lesson, الدرس السابع عشر, 17th lesson. Look at the first sentence. أبواب المسجد مفتوحة. What's the meaning? Doors of the masjid are open. Now, if we analyze this sentence, what is abwab doing? First of all, this is a noun sentence because we know abwab, doors, right? The doors is not an action, it's a thing. So abwabul masjidi, abwab is mubtada. It is also mudaf. Al masjidi, because you see that English translation, doors of the masjid, pen of Bilal, car of Hamid, son of Zaid, all of these are mudaf ilayh, right? So abwab is mudaf and al masjid is mudaf ilayh. But abwab, the first word, is also playing the role of mubtada. So if there's a mubtada, it means it's a noun sentence. So there must be a khabar. So what is the khabar? Maftuhatun. Doors of masjid are open. Now I have a question. Why maftuhatun? Why it is ending with maftuhatun, whereas the bab, the word bab, the door, is mudhakkar? Can anybody answer? Bab is mudhakkar. Bab is masculine. Khabar should be maftuhun without ta marbuta. But why ta marbuta is coming here? Because when you see, look at this word abwab as well, there's no ta marbuta. Do we see any ta marbuta, round ta, close ta on abwab? No, abwab is ending on ba. There is no sign for it to be feminine. Why the khabar is maftuhatun and not maftuhun? Very good. This brings us back to our previous lesson and the first slide of today, because abwab is what? Abwab is the plural. What's a singular? Singular is babun. Okay, singular is masculine, we understand. But what kind of category is that? Which category this word bab belongs to? This belongs to irrational plurals, right? So irrational plurals will be treated as if they are singular feminine, right? So it means they are feminine. And if they are feminine, we will use maftuhatun and we will not use maftuhun. Is everybody with me? Yeah, we will not use maftuhun. If it was a singular, babul masjidi, we'll say maftuhun because bab is a mudhakkar, bab is masculine. But when the bab becomes plural, now this plural is an irrational plural. So irrational plurals will be treated as if they are feminine. So if this mubtada, this abwab, is feminine, then the khabar must be feminine. Mubtada and khabar must match each other in the gender. So I hope it is clear, right? Next one is liman hadhihi al-buyutul jadidatu hiya li mudiri sharika. Now once again, the translation for whom or to whom belongs these new houses. You can say it in both ways. We try to do word to word. That's why you say for who these new houses are. Otherwise, in English, you will say to whom these new houses belongs. The question is, why hadhihi is used before al-buyut? Can anybody answer? Why not hada? Because bayt is mudhakkar. So for mudhakkar, for masculine, we use hada. Hada babun, hada baytun, right? Very good. Good answer, sisters. Well done. Because this is not bayt, this is buyut. What is buyut? Buyut is the jama, is the plural of bayt. What kind of plural is, what kind of word is bait? Which category does it go into? Rational or irrational? Bait, house, is irrational. It's not a human being. It's not angel. It's not jinn. So it's irrational. So every time you have an irrational noun, when you make the plural of that, that plural will be treated as if it's a singular feminine. So what do you say when you point towards singular feminine? If you point towards the car, what do you say? Hada sayaratun or hadi sayaratun? You say hadi sayaratun. When you point towards Zainab, what do you say? Hadihi Zainabu or Hada Zainabu? You say Hadi Zainabu, right? Because those are females, those are feminine words. So here al-buyut is also feminine words. Why? Once again, because it is an irrational plural. That's why the ismul ishara before buyut is coming is hadihi and not hada. Got it? Everybody with me? Now moving towards the next word, al-jadidatu. What is this word doing here, al-jadidatu? Al-jadidatu is the naat. As we can see the translation, new houses. It could be big houses, old houses, right? All of these are adjectives, naat. So al-jadidatu, why naat is having ta marbuta? Because naat and manut must match each other in gender. So here naat is coming because with ta marbuta means naat is coming as feminine. Why? Very simple reason. We've already given the answer. The word al-buyut is an irrational plural. Irrational plurals are treated as a singular feminine. Hence, we are looking at this word naat is coming as al-jadidatu. If it was one house, we will say liman hadha al-baytul jadid. We'll say hada and we'll say bait. For bait, we'll say hada and naat will be jadid because naat has to match the manut. Bait is a mudhakkar word. Masculine word, so naat will be masculine. But here it's not bayt, it's buyut, plural of bayt, and now it is irrational plural. Hence, the naat is also matching it. I hope it is clear. Here li mudir sharika. It is for the manager of the company, or it belongs to the manager of the company. We have already discussed that here and huwa, if they are used for human beings, they will be translated as he and she. But for the things, huwa means it, and here also means it. But in Arabic, why are we choosing here and not huwa? Why are we saying here? It belongs to. Why are we not saying huwa? For English, it will make no change. The both words will translate into it. But in Arabic, we have to know the reason, right? Why we are choosing here? We are choosing here because now buyut is in our mind. According to the grammar, it is a singular masculine. What do you say for single masculine? Here Zainabu. You will not say huwa Zainabu, right? So these al-buyut is feminine. So you are saying here limudiri sharika. It is for manager of the company. Third one, an-najumu jamilatun. An-najum, single word is an-najm, star, but star is not human being, it's not angel, it's not jinn. So when you make the plural an-nujum, automatically it will be treated as singular feminine. If it's a singular feminine, what is the khabar going to be? An-nujum is your mubtada. Your khabar must be jamilatun. You cannot have jamilun coming here. Is everybody clear here, sisters? Does everybody understand? If you understood, please press 1. If you did not understand, please press 2. Though I don't think there's anything new, because all of these three things, what we are doing here, we have done before. Irrational plurals, we have done in the last class, and mubtada, khabar, and naat and manood, we have done it in our previous level. Alhamdulillah, everybody's clear. Okay, some people have got little confusion. We'll go away, inshallah. So let's look at the fourth one. هذه الدروس سهلة. Once again, ad-durus, right? Ad-durus, what kind of word is durus? It's a plural of what? What's the singular of durus? Darsun. Darsun is masculine, no problem with that. If it was singular, we'll say hada darsu sahlun. This lesson is easy. We will not say sahlatun. We will not add ta marbuta because dars is mudhakkar. There's no ta marbuta. There's no sign of feminine. It's not feminine word. But dars, because it's an irrational category, as soon as you made the plural, it will now be treated as a singular feminine. So if you have a singular feminine word, how will you point towards that? What do you say? You say hada or hadihi? You say hadihi, isn't it? If it was a sayaratun, you will not say hada sayaratun. You will say hadihi sayaratun, right? So likewise, you're saying hadihi durusu, and then you are giving the khabar. So hadihi is mubtada, ad-durus is badal. I don't want to go into the detail of badal. We have studied that before, but badal is a big topic. It will come in future lessons, in future levels. So for now, just understand a word which is starting with alif and lam, and before it is a ismul ishara, that word is badal. That word is badal. What's the transition? These lessons. These lessons. So these is our mubtada, hazi is our mubtada, ad-durus is a badal, it's not a khabar. Khabar is missing. We need to have the khabar. If I just say in English, these lessons, are you happy? No, you want to know something about these lessons, right? So me just saying these lessons tells you that there's no khabar in that because you're not satisfied. The listener wants to know more. But if I say these lessons are easy, so easy is my khabar, this is my information about the lessons. So hadihi durusu sahlatun. All the point here is why sahlatun has got ta marbuta, why sahlatun is feminine. Sahlatun is feminine because our mubtada, which is hadihi, is also feminine. I hope it is clear. Next example, fil Hindi lughatun kathiratun. In India, there are many languages. Aina al-kutubul jadidatu. Where are new books? Once again, al-jadidatu is our naat and al-kutub is our man'ut. Why al-jadidatu? Naat is feminine because the word al-kutub, which means books, is an irrational plural. Hence, naat is following the man'ut. Man'ut is feminine, so the naat will be feminine. If it was one book, you will say ayn al-kitabul jadid. Right? Kitabul jadidu. You will not say jadidatu because kitab is masculine, so the naat will be masculine. But al-kutub, books, this word is feminine, so we will have naat coming as feminine as well. تلك السرر مكسورة. Those beds are broken. Those beds are broken. It's the same example. Instead of هذه, now things have moved to tilka because it's far. That if single bed, you will say ذلك. ذلك السرير, because sarir is a masculine word, but now we are using plural, and this plural is rational plural, and this bed is far, so you are using tilka, which you would use for singular feminine when it is far. So you may say tilka sayaratun, that is a car, right? So now you are saying tilka sururu, those beds are broken. Number 8, as-sa'atul yabaniyatu rakhisatun. Japanese watch is cheap. You see, as-sa'atu is your mubtada. What is al-yabaniyatu? Is your not. Look, it is matching. This time, Sheikh Abdul Rahim has made little change. Just for our understanding, it's nothing to do with today's lesson in terms of irrational plural, but if you analyze, as-sa'atu is mubtada. What is al-yabaniyatu? It is matching as-sa'atu in all things. In Arab, in gender, in alif lam, all things are being matched. So this as-sa'atu is mubtada, al-yabaniyatu is the naat, and rakhisatun is the khabar. If you look at the English sentence, if I say Japanese watch, Swiss watch, English watch, it doesn't give you any meaning. You just, okay, you will say, what about Japanese watch? What about Swiss watch? What about English watch? But if I tell you it's cheap, then now you got the khabar. So this tells us that rakhisatun is the khabar, and mubtada and khabar must match each other in gender. So as-sa'atu is your mubtada, hence your khabar is also as-sa'atu is mubtada and as-sa'atu is feminine. So your khabar, which is the rakhisatun, is also feminine. هذه الحمر للفلاح. هذه الحمر للفلاح. These donkeys belong to the farmer. Now, plural of donkeys could be humur and hamir, both are possible. Then, أين كتبكن يا أخوات? Where are your books, O sisters? Here, fil fasli, it is in the classroom. It's not being said, huwa fil fasli. Why? Because kutub, once again, is a plural of kitab. And kutub is a rational plural, so we are using the term which is suitable for feminine, and that term is here. If it was kitab, then it would be huwa fil fasli. But it is kutub, hence the pronoun used this here. هذه كتبي وتلك كتب أختي. These are my books and those are books of my sister. You see, هذه. If it was only one book, we know that. هذا كتابي. This is my book. We say هذا. Why? Because kitab is masculine. So our mubtada will be هذا. We can't say هذه. But if it was a car, you will say هذه سيارتي. This is my car. You see the difference. But here, why Hadi is being used and not Hadha? Because in one example, I said Hadha Kitabi, this is my book, because I was talking about one book. Irrational category, but not the plural. But now Kutub is still irrational category, but now it became a plural. So when it becomes a plural, we treat it as if it's a singular feminine. So we are saying Hadihi Kutubi. Wa tilka Kutubu Ukhti. Once again, tilka is used for kutub, tilka is used for plural. Usually we have seen tilka is used for singular, right? Singular feminine. But here, kutub is also playing the role of a singular feminine because it's an irrational plural. I hope everybody got that. And then, hadihi makatibu tullabi. These are desks of the students. There should be da between of and students because of alif and lam. It's not there, so you can mark the correction in your own notes. And the next one is في هذه الشارع فنادق كبيرة. In this street there are big hotels. In this street there are big hotels. This is something we've done before. It's already written there, so it's not. There's no point me asking a question. But just to remind you, في هذا is our khabar. فنادق is mubtada. Why mubtada is coming second? Why mubtada is coming late? Because mubtada is nakira. When mubtada is nakira, when mubtada is indefinite and khabar is the phrase khabar, then they change the places. They change the places. Khabar will come in the beginning and mubtada will come late. This is called mubtada muakhar. Mubtada muakhar, mubtada is being delayed, right? I hope it is clear. So fanadiq is mubtada and kabiratun is the khabar. Kabiratun, sorry, is the naat. Why naat is feminine, kabiratun? We don't see any ta marbut on fanadiq. because it is hotel. So once again, it's an irrational plural. So the naat for irrational plural is coming as if it's a singular feminine word, is coming as kabiratun. I hope it is clear. Tamari. So I hope if you have any confusion in doing these exercises, things will become, inshallah, more easy. To answer the following questions using the pronoun, أين الكتب الجديدة? Where are the new books? هي في الغرفة. You will say هي في الغرفة. You can't say هو في الغرفة. Why here? Once again, that's I'm repeating now myself. So I think it's enough. We have repeated. You understood why we are using here, because I've already explained this in the previous slide. Is everybody with me, sisters? Do you all understand why we are using here, right? And not huwa. If it was one book, أين الكتاب الجديد? We will say huwa fil ghurfati, because kitab is mudhakkar. So we will use mudhakkar pronoun for that, masculine pronoun for that. But kutub is feminine. So we are using feminine pronoun. And why it is feminine kutub, we know because it's irrational plural. Liman hadhihi al-buyutul kabiratu? To whom belong these big houses? So how will we say? Here lit-tujjari. It is for the traders. Third one, abwabu sayyarati maftuhatun. Are the doors of the cars are open? The car are open, not car, sorry. Naam, hiya maftuhatun. Maftuhatun, because abwab, if it was only single door, if it was ababu sayyarati maftuhun, then not maftuhatun, because bab is a mudhakkar. But now it is abwab, and abwab is a rational plural. So we are using it and thinking it as if it's a singular feminine. So we're using here and we're using maftuhatun. Aina aqlamul mudarrisi? Where are the pens of the teacher? Hiya alal maktabi hunaka. Right? It is there over the desk. It is there over the desk. Once again, we're using here for aqlam. Why? Because aqlam is the jama of qalam, and qalam is an object which is an irrational. So aqlam is an irrational plural. So when irrational plural is there, you will use everything which is suitable for a singular feminine. So here, if you want to choose between huwa and here, you will choose here because here is suitable for feminine and huwa is suitable for masculine. أين الكلاب? Where are the dogs? هي في الحديقة. Yeah, here. Why? Once again, because it's a plural of irrational. أين الحمير? Where are the donkeys? هي أمام بيت الفلاح. It is in front of the house of the farmer. أين كتبك يا مريم? Where are your books, O Maryam? هي عند المدرس. It is with the teacher. أين دفاتر الطلاب? Where are the notebooks of the students? Answers here in the mudarrisi. It is with the teacher. If it was single, أين دفتر الطالب, for example, where is the notebook of the student? Then we say huwa indal mudarrisi, because daftar, one single word, daftar is singular and daftar is masculine. So we will say huwa indal mudarrisi. It is with the head teacher. But it is now dafatir, so it is irrational plural. So the suitable pronoun for it is here. So it's say hiya indal mudarrisi. Once again, in English, they both will be translated as it, whether you say huwa or here. But we are learning Arabic, so we need to know what is the right usage in Arabic. So if you have to answer this, somebody asks you and you want to answer them in Arabic, so you don't by mistake say huwa indal mudarrisi. You must say here indal mudarrisi. And this is also important for the point of view. If you see it written here indal mudarrisi, you should be able to understand the here is coming because of the reason behind the fatir. Right? Otherwise, one may say somebody who is the new in the course, or maybe they haven't done a lot before, they may say the fatir is masculine, so why are we using word here? So this answer is incorrect. But you will tell them no. The respectfully inform you that it's not correct, incorrect. It is correct. The reason we are using here is because the fatir is an irrational plural. And then أين الفنادق الصغيرة؟ هي خلف المستشفى. It is behind the hospital. لمن هذه الأقلام الجديدة? To whom belongs these new pens? So we say here libn al-mudiri, here libn al-mudiri. Have I made a mistake? Shall I say here ibn al-mudiri? Because ibn starts with alif, hamza. So shall I say, because it's written here as well. Shall I say here ibn al-mudiri, or here, shall I say here libn al-mudiri? If you think I should say li-ib, I should pronounce alif, press 1. If you think I should omit alif in my speech, but let it be in the writing and say libn al-mudiri, press 2. One, if you think Hamzatul Wasl will be pronounced. Two, if you think Hamzatul Wasl will not be pronounced here. Very good. My question had an answer. If it's in Hamzatul Wasl, it will not be pronounced if there's another word before that. It will only be pronounced if there's nothing before that. So here we have a word before that. So how can we pronounce that? We'll say here libnil mudir, right? Well done. So now in the next one, change the mubtada in all of the following questions. So here we have mithal. And this is the mithal I have already given to you in the previous text. So I hope it will become very, very easy, inshallah. I'll make things more clearer. Al-babu maftuhun. The door is open. Al-babu maftuhun. Al-bab, the door is masculine. So the khabar is matching the mubtada. Mubtada is masculine. Khabar is coming as maftuhun, right? Look at the example they've given, what we are supposed to do for all of these upcoming questions. Al-abwabu maftuhatun. The doors are open. Now maftuhun, which was written previously, has become maftuhatun. Why? Because al-bab, which was one door, now it is coming as the plural al-abwab. And when the door became doors, bab becomes abwab. Because it's a irrational plural, we will treat it as if it's a singular feminine. So now al-abwab, which is our mubtada, is a feminine word. So the khabar is also feminine, which is maftuhatun. And al-bab, in the first part of this example, is a masculine word. So the khabar is matching this masculine word and it's coming as maftuhun without any ta marbuta, without making it feminine. So now we have hadha qalamun jadidun. How will you change it into plural? Hadhihi aqlamun jadidatun. So first of all, you will change hadha into hadi because you are making the plural of qalam into aqlam. Aqlam, the word aqlam is feminine now because it's a plural, irrational plural. So you will use ismul ishara, which is suitable for singular feminine, and that is hadhihi. And you will use the naat, which is suitable for singular feminine, which is jadidatun. Next is an-najmu jamilun. Before that, hadihi, as I said to you, is our mubtada. Aqlamun is the khabar and jadidatun is the naat. As I already explained that to you. So mubtada is matching the khabar. Mubtada is feminine, so the khabar is feminine. And the naat is also matching the khabar because the khabar, which is also playing the role of man'ud, aqlam is feminine word, hence the naat is coming as in feminine form. Instead of jadidun, it is coming as jadidatun. So remember, on the right hand side, you could see this clip just came. Remember, naat and man'ut must match in gender. Here you can see naat and man'ut must match in gender. So they are matching there. And then the next is an-najmu jamilun. The star is beautiful. How will we make the plural? An-nujumu jamilatun. Dhalika kitabun qadimun. That is an old book. Tilka kutubun qadimatun. Dhalika al-baytu jamilun. So look, tilka is mubtada, kutubun is the khabar, and qadimatun is the naat. So I hope everybody is in understanding what we are doing here. Dhalika al-baytu jamilun. That house is beautiful. Tilka al-buyutu jamilatun. Hadha ad-darsu sahlun. We have attended this example in the previous slide. It was in the plural. Now it is coming in the singular form. Hadha ad-darsu sahlun. This lesson is easy. What is going to be the plural form of that? Hadhihi ad-durusu sahlatun. And then dhalika al-jabalu ba'idun. That mountain is far. How will we make the plural? Tilka al-jibalu ba'idatun. Is everybody clear, sisters? I hope by now you have no problems at all. Right? If you are clear, please press 1. If you are not clear, please press 2. Alhamdulillah. And still, if you have some issues, you can go back and watch the recording. We have repeated enough times. This is some slide, once again, we have seen in our previous lessons in level 1. Why is it coming here today again? Just to reiterate one point. If you look at the first sentence, هذا باب جديد, this is a new door. right? So if let's do something now, please. Let's for a minute omit the jadid from it. Say hadha babun. Is this a complete sentence? Yes or no? Hadha is our mubtada, babun is the khabar. If I say this and then I say this is the door, it's a complete sentence. You get the information, right? Everybody agree? Hadha babun is complete sentence. If I say hadha babun jadidun in English, this is a new door. So I've given you some information about the door that is new. It could be old, it could be beautiful, it could be big, it could be short. It's an additional information, but it's fine. So hadha is mubtada, babun is what? Babun is your khabar and jadidun is the naat. Everybody agree, sisters? Now, the question is, somebody may ask, why babun is the khabar? Why not jadidun is the khabar? They are right. Because if you say, if you place sentence in this way, hadha jadidun, this is new, is a complete sentence or not, sisters? If I say, leave the slide for a second and think of this sentence, hadha jadidun, this is new, and I'm pointing towards something. It's a complete sentence, right? Hadha is mubtada and jadid is the khabar. Correct. So now the questioner is saying, I'm saying babun is the khabar and not jadidun is the khabar. Why is that? Because jadidun, when I remove the babun, jadidun can be a khabar. What are the conditions for the khabar? It should be marfu. It should be indefinite if it's one word, right? That's the condition, right? Mahmudun talibun. Hamidun tabibun. So Hamid, at-talibu mujtahidun. At-talib is mubtada, which is marfu and definite. Alif lam is there, dhamma is there in the end. And mujtahidun means hardworking, but there's no alif lam is coming. Or I say at-talibu maridun. I'm not saying al-maridu, I'm saying maridun. So the conditions for the khabar, if it is one word, is that it should be indefinite and it should be marfu. It should have dhamma in the end. So this condition is met in both words. Babun is also nakira. It's also indefinite. There's no alif lam. And it is ending on tanween of dhamma, so it is marfu. Jadidun is the same thing. Jadidun, there is no alif and lam, and jadidun is ending on dhammatin, so it is marfu. So they both meet the conditions of khabar. Why are we saying bab is the khabar and not jadid is the khabar? It can come to your mind. That's not a problem. So let's do this once again. I hope that you understand this, and we've done it before. Let's say there's a room which is called noun sentence. There are two chairs. One chair is for mubtada, one chair is for khabar. And there's somebody, the doorkeeper is outside the room. So when Haza came and entered the door, entered into the room, he found the chair of the mubtada empty, so quickly sat on that chair. And then the door was open and the babun came. The word babun entered, found the chair of the khabar empty, so jumped down and said that. Hadha babun, and then the jadidun came, had nothing, nowhere to sit, so just stood next to babun and became the naat. It became an additional information. Now let's flip that. Hadha entered the room, sat in the chair of mubtada because he found it empty. Now, next person entering is not babun, but rather jadidun. The word jadidun entered, found the chair of khabar empty, and hopped onto that chair. Hadha jadidun, that's mubtada and khabar. So what do we learn from this is, it is first come first basis, because Hadha came and sat in the chair of mubtada, and then babun came and sat in the chair of the khabar. When jadidun came in the room, there was no place for jadidun to sit, so it was an extra, so it just stood on the side. If there was no babun and only jadidun would have entered the room, yes, jadidun is fully entitled to sit in the chair of the khabar, but it's first come first basis. In this sentence, first Hadha came, occupied the chair of mubtada, then babun came, occupied the chair of the khabar. Though jadidun is okay to be a khabar, but there is no chair remain for khabar, how is jadidun going to sit in the chair of the khabar? So jadidun must play some other role in the sentence. I hope it is clear, sisters, right? This is why all of this was there. I hope it is clear. And this also tells us how mubtada and khabar match each other in gender as well, which we have already seen that. So look, Zainabu, Zainab is our mubtada. What kind of mubtada is Zainab? Zainab is feminine. So the khabar, can it be muhandisun? No, it must be muhandisatun, because it must match. Mubtada and khabar must match each other. And naat, can it be kabirun? No, naat must match man'ut. Which kind of engineer is that? Big engineer, kabiratun, because a female engineer, muhandisatun. If instead of Zainab it was Hamidun, then it will be Hamidun, muhandisun, kabirun. Then muhandisun will be masculine So the kabirun will also be masculine. I hope it is clear. This is all the same thing. We have done this before as well. I hope we really don't need to go over it because in the previous slides we've seen that. So let's come to the continuation of the previous slide. Change the mubtada in the following questions. هذا المكتب مكسور. This desk is broken. You want to say these desks are broken. How will you say? هذه المكاتب مكسورة. Because maktab, desk, is an irrational being. So when you make the plural will become automatically female. So when it becomes female or feminine, you will use appropriate words in the sentence to meet and to suit the gender. So we use هذه and we use مكسورة. هذه المكاتب مكسورة. هذا مسجد جميل. هذا is مبتدا, masjid is khabar, jamil is the noun, right? Because masjid is a singular word and masjid is irrational, but here masjid is irrational singular. Our rule applies to irrational plural, right? Hada masjidun jamilun, because masjid is masculine, so we use hada, and we use jamilun as the noun. What if we make the plural? Hadihi masajidu jamilatun. We use hadihi. Because what masajid, now it has become the plural. It became plural, now it is like a singular feminine. So we use hadi, which is suitable for singular feminine. And we use naat jamilatun instead of jamilun, because jamilun is suitable for singular masculine and jamilatun is suitable for singular feminine. I hope it is clear. Hadi sa'atun rakhisatun. This is a cheap watch. How will you make the plural? Hadi sa'atun rakhisatun. And then tilka ta'iratu kabiratun. So how will you make the plural? Tilka ta'iratu kabiratun. Hadha talibun jadidun. Hadha talibun jadidun. So we will say hadi tullabun jadidatun. Correct, sisters? Once again, we have a sentence, Hada talibun jadidun. When we'll make the plural, we will make the first word feminine. We'll say hadihi, and then we'll say talib, and then we will say jadidatun, right? This is what we've been doing. Hadihi sa'atun rakhisatun, hadihi al-makatibu maksuratun, hadihi masajidu jamilatun. So I have a question. Please press 1 and 2. If you think following answer is correct, press 1. And the answer is Hadihi talibun jadidatun. If you think this is correct, press 1. But if you think that this answer, which I'm going to say now, is correct, then press, let's make it simple. If you think it is Hadihi talibun jadidatun, press 1. If you think no, answer is not this, answer is something else, press 2. Let's see who among us have not understood the lesson. Shall I repeat? Okay. Is the answer going to be هذه طالب جديدة? If you think this is the answer, then please press 1. If you think this is not the answer, please press 2. Very good. That's not the answer. Why? Because a talib, what kind of word is a talib? Talib is a rational being. So rational, this rule doesn't apply to rational. And for the rational plurals, we will use ha'ulai, right? Ha'ulai tullabun jududun. We will use the plural form of jadid. We will not use any feminine form here of jadidatun. There's no need for that, right? Next one is dhalika rajulu alimun kabirun. Because dhalika is used and you're making the plural, so you're changing from that to those. So you're using ulaika. And ar-rijal is the plural of rajulun. And ulama is the plural of alimun, and kibarun is the plural of kabirun. I hope you're getting that, right? So ulaika is your ismul ishara, ar-rijalu is your badal. Remember, any word, any noun which has got alif and lam, and before it, if it's an ismul ishara, hadi, hada, hadihi, ulaika, haulai, or other ismul ishara, then this word is badal. So the i'rab will be ulaika is your mubtada, ar-rijal is the badal, ulama'u is your khabar, and kibarun is your naat. I have a question. The word kibarun, there's no alif lam, and hence it has got tanween, right? So the words which have alif lam, they don't accept tanween, we know that. They accept only dhamma. What is the reason this word ulama'u do not have any alif and lam, but it has got a dhamma instead of tanween? Are you getting, sisters, what my question is? Let me just say it once again. Look at this ar-rijal. Why ar-rijal has got a single dhamma and not tanween? Because it has got alif and lam in the beginning, right? If you look at the last word here in the same sentence, kibarun, why it has got tanween? Because there is no alif lam, right? We understood that. We know that alif lam and tanween don't go hand in hand. So we will have a single haraka left and we have dhamma here. And here, kibarun, we have tanween because there's no alif lam here. So alif lam is not there, so tanween could be there. Why the word ulama'u has got single haraka and not tanween, even though that there is no alif lam? Any answers? My mistake in the typing? If you think it's an error in the typing, please press 1. If you think there could be some other reason, please press 2. Okay, well done. Very well. The thing is, those who are saying have got some idea. This word ulama'u is a diptote word. We have seen this in the previous lessons that there are some words which do not accept tanween. All of these will come in the future lessons, but just I am pinpointing so you can your minds are ready for these kind of things. These are called diptote. What are they called? Diptote, right? So I hope you will remember that in Arabic these words are called mamnu' min as-sarf, those words which do not accept tanween, like we have seen in the past. Names of females, they don't accept tanween. Never say Aishatun, Khadijatun, Zainabun, always with the single haraka. Aishatu, Zainabu, Khadijatu, Ruqayyatu, Safiyatu, Maryamu. Likewise, non-Arab names. Never say Ibrahimun, Idrisun. It's always going to be Ibrahimu, Ismailu, right? I hope it is clear. Okay. The last one here is Hadha Nahru Kabirun. Hadil Anharu Kabiratun. So we understood the reason. Now in number 3, please put the appropriate khabar, put the appropriate khabar in the blank spaces. We have fill in the blanks. We have mubtada given and you have to give the khabar. So to make things comfortable and easy, so you don't have to really think of the words, given the English word on the right hand side, so you can see al-bayt here is given. I want you to give me the correct translation for the big, which should come here. Yes, so I'll ask you. It should be kabiratun or kabirun. It will be. Remember, your mubtada is masculine, al-bayt is masculine, so khabar should be kabiratun or kabirun. Is going to be kabirun, not kabiratun. Why? Because it's a masculine word. Moving forward, an-nujumu. You have to say beautiful. How will you say jamilun or jamilatun? I hope everybody knows the answer, right? An-nujum is our mubtada. What kind of mubtada? Is feminine. Why it is feminine? Because an irrational. If it's irrational and it's feminine, then the khabar for the an-nujum could be jamilun or jamilatun. It will be jamilatun, right? Mubtada and khabar must match each other in gender. If mubtada is feminine, khabar must be feminine. If mubtada is masculine, khabar must be masculine. Al-bab. What should be the khabar for al-bab if I want to say open? Al-babu maftuhun, right? Al-qalamu, if I want to say new, jadidun, not jadidatun because it's a singular word. Al-buyut, what will I say for small? Saghiratun. Why? Because al-buyut is mubtada, but it's feminine because it is an irrational plural. Number 6, al-abwabu, and I want to say close. I will say mughlatun or mughlaqun, mughlaqatun. Why? Because al-abwab is the plural. So feminine, they will match each other. As-sayyaratu qadimatun. I want to say old because it's given here in English. I hope you can see that. You just have to translate this word old into qadimun or qadimatun. You will obviously translate it into qadimun. Qadimatun, you will use qadimatun. You will not use the version qadimun because the sayyarat is feminine. So you will use the feminine naat for that. Al-mindil. Al-mindilu, for clean, you will say nadhifun, you will not say nadhifatun. But it was al-manadilu. If it was handkerchiefs, then you will say nadhifatun, because then it would be considered as feminine. But right now, it is masculine, so there is no ta marbuta, so you're not using the word nadhifatun, you're using nadhifun. And then number 9 and number 10, I hope it's all clear. Number 11, al-qumsanu wasikhatun, the shirts. And then you have to give the jama, right? Jama, plural of these words. So in your book, of course, only singulars are given, but here all the plurals are given. So babun, the plural is abwabun, baytun, buyutun, najmun, nujumun, qalamun, aqlamun. Himarun could have two plurals, hamirun or humurun. Sarirun is sururun. Nahrun is anharun. And then sayaratun is for, of course, sayaratun. Kalbun, kilabun, ta'iratun, darsun, durusun, bahrun, biharun, kitabun, jama, or the plural is kutubun, qamisun, single, kumsanun is a plural, darrajatun, one bicycle, darrajatun, many, taqlun or huqulun, jablun, jibalun. And here the new words are given as well. Ash-sharikatu is the company, and the company is sharikat. Mudir al-sharika is manager of the company. Rakhis means cheap. Al-qamisu is the shirt, and qumsan is the shirts. Right. So that was today's lesson. I just want to quickly go through this once again, which we have done in the past. Verbs in Arabic are of three types: al-madi, al-mudari, and amr. In English, we have past, present, and future, but in Arabic, we have past, which is called al-madi, and the second form of the verb, which is called al-mudari. It could have both meanings. It could have the meaning of present, and it could have the meaning of past, right? It depends on the usage. When you will see the whole sentence, you will understand. But there's a third type of the verb in Arabic, which is not a type of verb in English. That's called amr, imperative, right? So if you order someone, and if you look at it actually, when you're ordering somebody, that is also kind of a future, isn't it? If I say, if I ask somebody, write, out, read. So when I'm saying something, read, I'm instructing somebody. When are they going to read? After I finish my sentence, right? After I finish speaking what I'm saying. So that action is going to be in future tense. In Arabic, it's called al-amr, the command imperative verb, right? And verbs in Arabic are made up of either 3 letters or 4 letters. So 3 root letters or 4 root letters. So as you can see on the screen, nasara, noon, swad, and ra, the 3 letters, it means, it's the meaning of helping. We'll not go into detail at this stage. And there are verbs which are made up of 4 letters, like you see, ba, ain, tha, ra, meaning scattered, or dahraja, to roll. So the verbs can be made up of 3 root letters or can be made up of 4 root letters. And type of verbs in Arabic are 3. Al-madi, which stands for past, al-mudari, which stands for present and future, and al-amr, which stands for the imperative or command. We have seen that before. And then scholars have made things easy for us to understand. So they have given a code words. So for example, if you look at the word fa'ala, fa'ala means he did, meaning the action, doing. So the first letter of the verb is called fa kalima. Second letter of the verb is called ain kalima. Third letter of the verb is called lam kalima. I just want you to get this right, sister. Just try to get hang of that. This is important. In the future, you will see the benefits of that. And we have done this before, so I hope you have done some practice. So if I ask you from the word zahaba, without looking at the screen where all the answers are given, if I ask you, sisters, which one is lam kalima? I'll give you choices. You just press 1, 2, 3. That'll make easy and faster. If you think lam kalima is zal, press 1. If you think lam kalima is ha, press 2. If you think lam kalima is ba, press 3. I'm talking about this first word. I'll do quickly because we have to do more verbs as well. Very good. Lam kalima is ba. What is lam kalima? Lam kalima is the third letter of the word. Right. Now, the verb jalasa, which means he said. I want to ask you, where is the fa kalima in jalasa? Is it jeen? Is it lam? Or is it seen? Which is the fa kalima? If fa kalima is jim, press 1. If it's lam, press 2. If it is seen, press 3. Well done, it is jim. So what is the meaning of fa kalima? Fa kalima means the first letter of the verb, which is jim. We'll do one more. We'll do one of the last one now. Karuma. So I want to know, which is the ain kalima in karuma. If you think kaf is an ain kalima, press 1. If you think ra is an ain kalima, press 2. If you think lam is an ain kalima, press 3. 1, 2, 3, choose one, or just guess it, and you will learn it, inshallah. Very good. Lam kalima is ra, ra. So what is, sorry, lam kalima is meme. Lam kalima is meme. So first letter is called fa kalima, second is called ain kalima, and last is called lam kalima. Just remember that, and inshallah you will be good. One last thing before we end the class. You know attached pronoun and detached pronoun, but so far you only know the English name. I want you to just have the Arabic names in your sight as well, so you know what are the names. Because when they will be used in the future lesson, you will not find yourself in any kind of confusion. So English names, what are the names on the surface level? You could say third person, second person, and first person, right? Third person is somebody who is not present, and that could be masculine or that could be feminine. Second person is the person you are speaking to. That could be male or that could be female. And first person, the one who is speaking, could be masculine and could be feminine. This is clear. We all know that, right? I want you to focus on this, what is in the purple boundary, because you know the pronouns anyways. So in Arabic, third person in English is called ghaib. Ghaib means absent, not present. That's what the third person is. And masculine, I've been using these two words. I hope you have so far understood that. Masculine in Arabic is called muzakkar, muzakkar. And feminine in Arabic is called mu'annath, mu'annath, right? So this was for ghaib. What is second person called in Arabic? In English, second person is the one you are speaking to. In Arabic, second person is called mukhatab. Mukhatab. Remember, ta has got a fatha. I'll not go into detail what it will be when the ta has got a kasra, because otherwise we'll get mixed up with the third one. So for now, remember the haraka on the ta is fatha. So second person is called mukhatab. Mukhatab. And the one who is speaking, the first person, the pronoun which you in English you say first person pronoun, in Arabic it is called mutakallim at the bottom. Mutakallim. So mutakallim could be muzakkar wa muannath. Yani first person could be masculine or feminine. If I'm speaking, I will be considered as first person. If you as a sister speaking, you will also be considered as a first person. So in first person, it could be masculine and feminine. Both are included in that. So today's lesson summary. Today's lesson was very, very easy. And we have just seen today what we have already learned in the past. We just today put into practice. We already knew what is rational pronoun. We already knew mubtada and khabar. We already knew naat and manut. Today we just saw how to arrange them in a proper order. If it's a rational plural, then rational plural is like a singular feminine. So our mubtada will match it accordingly, right? And our khabar will match it accordingly. Our naat will match it accordingly. Depending on where that irrational plural is coming in the sentence, everything else in the sentence which needs to be aligned with the gender will be aligned accordingly as a feminine. So I hope today's class was easy and everybody understood that and there are no issues. So with that, we will end the class. I hope everybody is clear. Isn't it, sisters? Are you all clear? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And a little bit problems here and there could always be there, a little bit confusion, because as you see, when we do the class, Alhamdulillah, we try to bring so many things so to make a complete picture of that. We don't want to leave things as much as possible. We don't leave things isolated. We try to make the whole complete picture. And sometimes it's possible in making that complete picture, some of the sisters might just, get a little bit overwhelmed or confused, but that's not a problem. You can always go back to the recording and you can go through that and see if there's any confusion and if you can replay that and inshallah solve that issue. Barakallah fiqh once again, sisters. Thank you very much for coming. All the good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the evil is from me and shaitan. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive my sins. I request you, sisters, to please overlook my shortcomings. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. We'll end the class now. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you so much for coming. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.